Because that mindset has some perks that thinking deeper doesn't have. Because when you think deeper, you tend to miss certain things that are like kind of, easy to kind of pick up, or like just like right in front of you. It's a nice car.
A little BRZ with the underglow.
Yeah, kind of clean. Yeah, when you dig in deeper, you tend to miss things that are right in front of you sometimes. Or when you look at things for just face value or how they are, you will almost always pick up the stuff that is right in front of you, but now you'll miss the deeper part of it. So there's good aspects to both mindsets, and that's why when you encounter somebody that has like that mindset where you look in deeper, and then they go about their day-to-day actions, you might interpret them as unintelligent because of that, right? Because you'll see them do stuff, and you'd be like, why are you doing it like this?
Why are you only performing at face value?
Or that's if you just look at face value. I'm talking about the sense if you look in deeper, you'll miss the face value on, and it'll apply to like day-to-day things when you're like, just like, let's say warehouse, for example. When you're like just doing like basic stuff there, you'll do it in a sense where you're looking for a deeper thing when it's literally just simple. But you'll look for it in a deeper sense, and you're missing all that stuff. And then somebody like Brandon, for example, that looks at it like that, like the face value, he'd be like, why are you doing it like this? It's literally just, you just have to do this, not this, all these other steps. You're going a long way around just to get the same answer when it's just right like this. You know what I mean? So they'll interpret you as, I guess, dumber because you're doing it the harder way than it is. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly. That is something that I fault from.
Oh, me too. I'm so bad at it. And I also think, like, I miss basic details to things because my brain is also thinking about other things, like deeper things, like on a completely different subject than what I'm doing. Yeah. But my brain is like, oh, this is what I'm doing right now. I know what to do. I know how to do it or whatever. So I'll start doing it, which I might miss things because my brain is preoccupied doing some other stuff, but I'm also multitasking and doing this at the same time, which will cause me to miss stuff, or I guess not do it in the best way possible. Because it's just simple, like I'll just whatever. I can just casually do it, or whatever. But,
you miss the easy win.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Just put the fries in the bag.
Yeah.
Don't worry that the bag has wrinkles on it.
No, 100%.
Right.
Jeez, slow down, twin.
That's a Chevy Cruze. They've got nothing to lose in life.
Not real.
Okay. So now I'm going to ask a follow-up question, right?
Okay.
Why do you ask why or what my interpretation of Nathan is?
Well, because I'm not in anybody else's brain, right? I only see myself as like the picture I've built of myself, right? Like with my puzzle piece theory. I've collected all these pieces and I've built a picture of who Nathan to myself, right? And that's how I look at life through that lens. Nathan is this, and I look at life through all of that lens, right? Now through somebody else, I can have an interaction with them and I can present myself as A, right? But in my internal self, I'm not only A, I'm A, B, and C. But you will only pick up that A piece. And then we have a different interaction and you'll pick up a different part and a different part, and you'll build a picture that's different to what I have, right? So then when I'm asking you this is also tells me how I'm also like presenting myself in a sense. It'll give me more information about myself that I might also not have realized or whatever, because what you're presenting is still part of you, even if it's not like part of you, if that makes 100% sense. Like if I act a certain way, but I don't view myself in that certain way, but if I did act that way, that is, I guess, in a sense, me, because I've acted that way. You know what I mean? If I view myself as a calm person, but then in a certain situation, I've acted not calm, I'm usually calm, but you've only seen the uncalm part of myself. The crash out. Yeah, the crash out side. Every single time I'm with you, you've seen me crash out. Yeah. But everybody else has seen me, stay calm, stay focused, stay all that. You know what I mean? Usually if someone's like, hey, are you a calm person? I'm like, yeah, I'm a calm person. Now if somebody asks you if I'm a calm person, you'd be like, fuck no, Nathan's not a calm person. That guy's a crash out. Yeah. Right? So now this helps me understand myself a little bit better too.
Well, it sounds like you're not just trying to understand yourself, but you're trying to understand your surroundings and other people's perception of you.
100%. Because how you
are perceived is part of what you are.
100%. See, now if I ask Jerry the same question about how he views me, he's not going to give you the same thing that you gave me. He's not going to be like, you know, he's this and he's that. What he's going to say is like, this is what my interpretation of what it's going to be. Obviously, it's going to be different because I can't tell.
You're not Jerry.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So what he's going to say is he's probably going to be like, you know, he's made some mistakes. You know, he's a good kid at deep down, but he's just working through life, and he's made a lot of mistakes, but he tries his best or whatever. And he probably said he views himself as, you know, above average, and, you know, he overestimates himself sometimes or whatever. I think that's probably more so the route that he would go. Mm-hmm. He wouldn't say, you know, I think he's an intelligent person. But I think, because I think I've heard him say that when he puts his mind to something, he, like, usually can do it kind of thing. I think I've heard him say something, a paraphrase, but, like, something like that.
But if I try hard enough, I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Something like that, but whatever. Yeah, so I'm going to ask him this question, too, next time I, like, see him. I'm going to ask him what his perception is of me. Because also, like, if you're trying to go, you know, down route A, right? And now you've shown other people perceptions of you going down route B, but you don't want people to have that perception of you going down route B. You want them to see the same, like, you know, route A. You got to figure out how, like, first of all, how they see you and why they see you that way, that you can now alter their perception of how they see you to look at you now in route A.
Now, can I contradict you?
100%. Go ahead.
Okay. Here's the answer to your problem, which you gave me the answer about 5 minutes ago, right? But the way that you get people to perceive you down route A, even if they have a preconceived notion that you're a route B person, the best possible outcome is you just go down route A and make it so that there is no misconception that you are a route A person.
And I agree, but at the same time, people, like I said, they look at life through a lens, right? So if they've already, you know, perceived you as a certain way, they'll look at you through that lens already. Oh, Nathan's cocky. So when he does certain action, he's doing that because he's cocky. But when the reality of it, you're doing it, you know, maybe just because you're confident. Cocky and confident are not the same thing. Sure, they kind of go in tandem with each other, because you have to be confident to be cocky.
Yes.
But you can be confident without being cocky.
Of course.
So, but if somebody already perceives you as cocky, they're just going to already think that no matter what your intentions was. So if you are going down route A and they've already seen you as part route B, they're going to look at you and they're going to make the connections through that, and they're just going to perceive you as B regardless. Unless you do something straight up to contradict that, where there's not any way to tie it together.
And that's where, for example, there's a saying out there, and I'm paraphrasing, but if you want to be good at something, do so many repetitions of it that it is impossible for you to not be good at it.
And that's usually what I try to do. So let's say, like, I'm going to go with singing, for example.
Yeah.
Right? When I was younger, I told you this. My mom, I was just singing when I was like a kid, and my mom was like, you're not as good of a singer as you think you are. Which that stuck with me when I was a kid. It stuck with me. So now, like I said, my value now started being determined based on how good I was at something. If I wasn't good enough at something, I have no value. So if I now am at stage 2 and I want to get to stage 10, right? Stage 10 is where I'm good at it. I will now not show somebody that I'm doing this until I've hit stage 10. Because if I show them that I'm at stage 2, they're going to have then in my mind, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to have a worth.
They perceive you as stage 2.
If I sing and I mess up, they're going to be like, oh, he's that, right? So now I'm going to get better and better until I hit, like, you know, stage 10. Then I'll sing in front of somebody that they're like, oh, he's good at singing.
Yeah.
Now they have that notion of me that I'm good at singing, opposed to, oh, he sucks. You know what I mean?
And see, that's where you have to be aware of life a little bit and your surroundings, because your stage 10 singing, there's someone that is out there, that's their stage 2,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense. Doesn't mean you're bad.
100%.
Right? And that doesn't diminish your value whatsoever.
100%.
Right? So if people only see you at your stage 10, they're not going to understand that you put in the work from stage 2. And rarely in those circumstances do people ever see you go from beginning until conquer.
Yeah, 100%.
Where you've overcome whatever obstacle it is.
Yeah, and that's something I've realized in my life with that, you know, people will not notice the effort you put in. At least I should say, very seldom people will notice the effort that you put in, because they'll never see you behind closed doors when you're practicing. They only see you when you're performing.
Yes.
So when you're performing, whether not like a literal performance, I use that metaphorically.
But you're performing as in, oh, I'm going out and I'm speaking to more people because I want to be less of an introvert.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That you're putting the effort, you're performing.
Performing.
Yeah, exactly. And then somebody might perceive you, like, look at you, like, oh, that guy's well-spoken. He's pretty good at this. But they didn't see you before when you sucked at it.
No.
Right?
They didn't see you say 13 times to the pretty girl who asked debit or credit.
Yeah, exactly. Now, if, let's say, same situation, whatever, with the singing, I sang in front of, let's say, you at stage 2, and I wasn't that great. Now, I go about my day-to-day life, keep practicing, keep performing, whatever, doing my thing, and I hit stage 10. Next time I see you and I'm singing, doing my thing, you're like, oh, he's improved. Now you've seen that jump. But if I never now reveal that and I keep it behind closed door till I get to there, somebody will never appreciate that jump. Because I've hidden it because of my insecurity. And that's something I've only recently learned. After putting in a bunch of effort.
Those are things that most people never learn.
I know, it's rare. People don't think.
No.
And that's part of my puzzle piece theory.
Most people are face value people.
100%. And I think this was in my puzzle piece theory that you read, that basically entails that when you get to a certain point in life, you tend to go on autopilot. And I use that term kind of lightly because you're not really on autopilot. You're still thinking, you're still making decisions, but you're not really making your own decisions. You're only choosing from the decisions that are, or the choices that are in front of you, right? Because you've already established your life in a certain way, and it's flowing, it's moving forward.
You've established certain patterns and variables in your life so that you have a comfortable amount of things to choose from that don't actually alter that much.
Yeah, and exactly. So you're choosing between that, but you're never thinking, is there a better choice than A or B? You're just going to be like, A is better than B at this moment, I'm going to pick A. And then you keep going to the next one, and then you make a new decision off that or whatever. But you're never thinking, is there a C? Is there a D? And then you keep going. And that's what I mean by autopilot. They keep flowing, and that's the illusion of choice. So it's like they have choice, but they don't really have choice as much as somebody that's taking all that captive. They're taking all of their thoughts captive, all of their choices captive. They're like, I don't like A or B. Sure, A is better than B, but I think they can do better than that. And then you skip both of them and you choose option A or like Z or something like that. You go all the way around about and choose something
completely
option
24.
Different. That's the difference between people that end up at a dead-end job because they're comfortable. If I go now a different option, I don't know what's going to happen. So they limit their choice to what's in front of them, what's comfortable. So they no longer have like their choice in a sense. And that's what my puzzle piece theory entails. Also, in the sense, which I don't know if this really entails, so I'm not going to go down that route, but that's going to be a whole other tangent and how that all connects, and I'm not going to go down that route.
That's a book that you're just going to pet softly on the spine and say,
yeah,
that was a good one. And put it back on the shelf.
Exactly. And that's why I try to like always consider like why, who, what, where, why, when. When you're presented with situations, you always question it. Always question it, because if you don't question it, you're just going to take it at face value. But like I said before, face value and all that, you might, if you don't look at it at face value, or you do look at it at face value, you might get some information that somebody that doesn't look at it at face value might not get, like that will, you know what I mean? It's quite it's tricky road, because you can't really do both.